Hello YouTube, it's Slow but Steady Vegan here, out for a lunchtime walk, and I thought I'd do a little video. So this video is going to be why I think that a vegan diet is actually healthy, or is something that other people should at least consider. Well, I suppose if I'm thinking about this being healthy, then any alternative diet I guess I must think has been unhealthy. Well, lots of diets out there, or ways of eating out there, and the key thing I guess for me is not to eat dairy and obviously anything to do with animals. So why do I think that? Well, I think that lots of those sort of foods are actually quite acid forming in the stomach, and that's one of the main reasons why I actually turned vegan in the first place. It was to try and protect myself as much as possible from cancer. It runs in my male side of my family, and with a little bit of research realised that things like red meat wasn't necessarily the best thing if you want to avoid that sort of thing. So yes, it runs in my family, and it could well be that I've already got it in some way, but the key part of all that is if you allow yourself to let that grow. So cancer for me, abnormal cells, you can have lots of abnormal cells, but it's then the body or the cell's ability to actually grow and turn into something cancerous. So by making sure that your insides aren't giving that environment, excuse this plane, if you make sure that your insides aren't giving a very nice environment for a cancer cell to grow, then that sounds like a reasonable thing to do. Lots of people would try and take tablets and supplements of various things, but it sounds, you know, a bit extreme, and then there's side effects. So a way of eating which tries not to give that environment, you have to excuse me while I'm sweating, it's very hot today in the UK, is really what I've been trying to do. And after a little bit, after a little bit of research, I realised that it's acid forming within the stomach that actually gives an environment where baddies can grow, shall we say. And giving an alkaline environment is what your body naturally wants to have, and it's that environment that cancer finds very hard to actually live in. So that's why I think it's more healthy, certainly for me, to not have dairy products or animal products in my diet, and try and make my diet as alkalizing as possible. So that's what I've tried to do over the last two and a bit years. I guess it's been, first of all I went vegetarian, and then the last thing was milk in coffee, that I then subsequently got rid of 2.5 years ago on Christmas Day. So I stopped, so no more milk. I have found that I've got a hell of a lot more energy since converting over. I feel a lot better in my mood, relaxed, sleep a lot better since converting over, and generally feel healthy. Now that's a relative thing, of course. You might not be healthy, but I haven't had any significant time off work over that period of time, so no major time off for coughs and colds and anything else really. The body's ability to get as much out of what you put in into your body is also key for me. So being able to process things in your intestines, guts, whatever you want to call it, get the most out of your food, that's where it's a lot easier to do it with plant-based things, in particular fruits, which is why probably about 50 to 75% of my calories come from fruits. Very easily digestive, and the key there is that because the body isn't wasting energy on trying to process meats and dairies, and it will do it, but it'll have little energy left for doing important things like producing new cells, repairing any damage that is in the body, and of course inflammation, and lots of ailments that people have these days you don't get with a plant-based diet, or very few people get with a plant-based diet. So there's good reasons to transfer over to at least reducing what the meat and dairy you have. For me, obviously I haven't had it for 2.5 years. Excuse me. So by eating things that are friendly to your stomach and the rest of your body can get on with some of the main jobs that it needs to do. And some of the main jobs it needs to do is to repair itself. We'll just let this car go past. Oh, a van. If you allow it to repair itself by having easily digestive things, it also means that those easily digestive things are passing on the nutrients far more easily to your insides. So people will say, well, there's not enough protein in all those sort of foods, there's not enough vitamins and minerals. You get better sources of vitamins and minerals and protein from animal-based products. And it is true, of course, that a slab of meat from some form of animal is going to have a hell of a lot more protein than a few bananas. However, how much of that protein can actually be transferred? That's the key. It's like having multivitamins. You have these multivitamins, and things like calcium might be the equivalent of chalk. Do we think that chalk is very healthy? Calcium healthy? Well, of course you need some calcium and some other things. And yes, there are in small quantities in plant-based products, but you only need small quantities. So the easier the conversion that you've got between a plant-based and what your actual body is going to use, well, it means none of it's wasted, or very little is wasted, or certainly a lot less than you have with animal products. So I just need to turn around at this stage on the way back to work. So that's more or less it. That's why I eat a plant-based diet and don't eat animals or animal products. It's chiefly because I can get everything I need from my plant-based stuff. It's easily absorbed. My stomach isn't in stress from eating those things, and therefore it makes better use of them, and then it has got a lot more energy so that it can actually do what I want it to do, which is to fix me. So allowing it to fix me by producing an alkaline based environment, it then means that hopefully it will protect me from the things I want it to protect me from. So I'm trusting in the actual food I'm eating, and I'm trusting in my body, and hopefully I'll still be making videos in another 30, 40, maybe even 50 years time. Well, you'll have to check back and see, and that's the proof of the pudding, I guess. So if I'm still around in my 90s and everything, and hopefully still on a vegan diet, I can sort of say, see, I told you so. Of course, none of us can really say which way a diet is going and whether it is working for us, and it depends what you want out of your life. So that's the end of this video then. If you like to make any comments, please do like and subscribe, and you'll know when I do the next one. Right, thanks very much for watching. Cheerio.